I truly believe that the future of youth development, especially in this country, is supplemental. It's supplemental training. It's what you're doing outside of your club environments. I've worked with a lot of clubs. I've worked with a lot of coaches. The coaches don't like doing one-on-ones. They don't like doing the technical work. I know a lot of coaches that only want to teach tactics, only want to teach game, only want to teach the game. Well, that works when you're dealing with players that can get the tasks done because they have superior technique. In other countries, the culture of the country develops athletes. Most of the time here in the United States, a kid has shot a basketball before playing organized basketball. Most of the time, kids have thrown a baseball or a softball before entering an organized league or organized team. The same with football. How many of us grew up playing catch in the backyard with a football, playing two-hand touch? Soccer's completely different. The first time I ever touched a soccer ball was in my first organized practice. I didn't work on soccer at home, and my older sister played, and I didn't touch a soccer ball not until my first organized practice. And that's how it is for 90% of the players that start. Lionel Messi started with a ball at his feet at 18 months. Clinton Dempsey didn't start until he was 6 years old, and Clinton Dempsey was one of the former faces of United States soccer. And if you look at any pro athlete, they have a type of training that they do. They have a focus in training that they do, and it starts with all athletes. I'm reading a book about Michael Jordan's trainer right now, who has also trained Kobe Bryant and trained Dwayne Wade. And he talks about just their mentality and training and how it'd be individual. And it'd be, I don't want anybody else in the gym. I just want to be with the coach and me. Well, that doesn't sound like soccer training, does it? I'm watching Pebble Beach Pro-Am. You know how early those guys go to the range before a round? Tiger Woods didn't learn his chip shot on the course. He learned it at the range. Yeah, you hear soccer coaches say, oh, let the game be the teacher. Let the game be the teacher. Why are we different than every other sport and every other elite athlete? Roger Federer will spend hours on his famous backhand. His famous backhand. He didn't practice that and learn that in a match. He developed that. He developed that in training over and over and over again. Yes, the game is a great teacher, and it provides things that you can't replicate in practice. I understand that. But the skills on the ball is what makes a player great. What makes Messi great? It's not necessarily his tactical decision. He's unbelievable on a ball. Unbelievable on a ball. Go and follow any NBA basketball player, and most of them have a private trainer or somebody that they work with on the side throughout the summer, and they're just hitting the same jump shots over and over and over again. There's a story about Larry Bird in the 1980s in the three-point contest, and how when you have the rack of balls that he never looked at the rim. He never looked at the rim. All he did was grab the ball and shoot, grab the ball and shoot, grab the ball and shoot, and he never ever looked at the rim. One, he knew where he was on the court because of instinct and how many times he's done it before. And two, it's just repetition. It's just doing the same skill over and over and over again. And yet, go to your soccer practices, all you'll see is possession work. You'll see scrimmages. I had a former player left Vardar and went to the Michigan Hawks. If you know anything about soccer, you know that the Michigan Hawks is one of the cream of the crop girls club in the nation. They've won boatloads of national titles. They put kids in the national pools. every year, and they're sending kids to powerhouse colleges, whether it be North Carolina. They've sent multiple players to North Carolina, multiple players to Florida State, multiple players to Virginia. When this parent took their kid to Michigan Hawks, he said one thing struck out to him that he's never seen in training. And this girl was 15 at the time when she finally went to the Hawks. That they did the same drill, the same activity, and everybody got to work on some kind of finishing drill. And they did it over and over and over again. And it wasn't just shooting on goal with the goalkeeper. It was hitting one spot on the frame and doing it over and over and over and over again. What does that sound like? It sounds like all these pro athletes. Go and look at Carly Lloyd's Instagram. Go look at Alex Morgan or Beast Mode Soccer's Instagram of Alex Morgan training, and they're doing the same skill over and 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 over again. And yet, most of our practices in developing players, it's all on the cognitive side. We want our soccer players and soccer teams to look like Barcelona. Dude, they're 12, they're 13, they're 15 years old. They're not going to look like Barcelona. You need to develop players so that when they're 20, 22, 24, they can look like that.